As more and more evidence of election fraud comes out, widespread election fraud, I might add, perhaps too late for the courts or anyone else to react. Of course, we know that the courts, compromised and corrupt, particularly the federal judiciary, is unlikely to do anything in any event. The president is faced with an attorney general, blowhard Bill Barr, much like his prior attorney general, Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions, that represents the deep state in the executive branch. Many of you have seen the movie by Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School, where he gives the valedictorian speech to his class saying, "Look out for number one and don't step in number two." Well, that explains the attorney generals under President Trump, looking out for themselves, not looking out for the president, and not looking out certainly for the people of the United States. The deep state has dirt on everyone. It's mutual assured destruction in the swamp of Washington, D.C., which is more aptly called the cesspool of Washington, D.C. And it permeates not just our nation's capital, but every state capital. It permeates the government. The government is, by all accounts, totally corrupt and does not represent the American people. It is broken away from the American people, just like it did in the days, months, and years leading up to July 4th, 1776, when our founding fathers declared in the greatest document ever written short of the Bible, that when the government breaks away from the people, I'm paraphrasing, we have a God-given right to alter or abolish that government and to form a new government. If the president has any glimmer of hope in succeeding in his election challenge, and it's very small at this point, given the fact that his lawyers have not handled the situation well, to put it nicely, and given the fact that it's now very late in the game and they didn't react fast enough, and given the fact that the Attorney General, blowhard Bill Barr, has thrown the president under the bus like Brutus, saying that he found no evidence of widespread election fraud when he didn't even bother to investigate it, and is protecting his own skin against this deep state that could destroy him. This is the president's quandary right now. He needs to take charge. It's a falsity that the Justice Department is independent from the president. The president is the head of the executive branch. The president can order the Justice Department and its FBI to do its job. And to start that process, the president, as late as it is, needs to fire blowhard Bill, and he needs to install an interim attorney general, which wouldn't have to be confirmed by the Congress to get the job done. As I've said before, I'm available, but if you can find someone else that'll do it, and frankly, I don't know anyone else that will, because no one else wants to take the risk of the reaction, of the blowback of the deep state, you can indict all these criminals. You can lay the groundwork for the president to declare martial law until we have new elections. The president can then use the time to lay out all the evidence, which is coming out very, very slowly. And if that does not happen, the American people surely will rise up. And they'll not rise up in a peaceful and legal revolution, as I suggest in my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, which you can purchase at Amazon.com and other major booksellers. I don't want to see violence. But others in this country certainly will come to that conclusion. And it will be another violent revolution, because the country will have been taken over by radical leftists who want to dismember it, to disassemble it, to take all of its wealth, to give it out, and then there'll be nothing left for anyone else, and there won't be anything left to even try to repair the moral and ethical cancerous damage that's been caused these many years to our body politic and to many in this country. So the president needs to take control. And the first thing he can do is to fire Bill Barr. And I have to ask the question, and I wrote a column in worldnetdaily.com this week, and you'll be able to see it at freedomwatchusa.org. I'll have it embedded in our weekly radio show. I'm going to have Dr. Jerome Corsi on, my client and friend who is assisting in the election challenge, and he's going to explain what he's been doing. We have to take charge right now, and we have to put our foot down. And we, the American people, need to fight back peacefully and legally. And we need a new election. We need a rerun of this election without paper ballots, without computer systems like Dominion, but an honest one, because we are now more than the laughing stock of the rest of the world. We're no better than third world nations in Africa or Latin America. This country has hit rock bottom. This country is infested with rats, with criminals, with crooks, with dishonest lawyers, with dishonest judges who will not enforce the rule of law. And that is why I want you to read the Declaration of Independence. Go out and get my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. See how we can return the country to the vision of our founding fathers, their great creation as one nation under God, peacefully and legally. Because if that does not work, the circumstances are such that we're going to shortly be in a violent revolution. So God bless you. God bless the country. Stay safe. Remember to act defensively. Exercise your Second Amendment rights, because the revolution may be coming if we don't do our job right now. And these leftists, frankly speaking, want us dead. I will be back Monday with another special podcast. Until then, listen to my weekly radio show, which is disseminated on Radio America and about 50 stations. And also you can find it listed and also recorded at freedomwatchusa.org, and support our Freedom Watch Justice League, because we have no Justice Department and we have no FBI to defend us. And that is why the president must now step in. He must not be afraid. He must not be afraid to himself be blackmailed by Barr and the deep state. He must do what he has to do to protect him and his family and to protect we the people. Thank you for listening.